Hey everyone, Brian with you from TheGameCommon. We're doing our AI-only championship series. We are on to Group 4. So far, we have 6 civs that have made it through. Let's see, we got Gandhi, we got Eleanor of England, we got Babylon, we got Gorgo. I did not write down the winners of the last round. I did, however, put them in order. I just didn't put them on my sticky note. We had Pedro and Wilhelmina come through in the last round. So we now have 6 into the knockout rounds. We're going for a total of 24. Keep in mind, if your civ was in an earlier group stage, they're not out because we will do the second chance rounds with everyone back in that has not made it. Now, if you've made it through, they're not going to be in the second chance round. There's no reason to play with them again because they're already in the knockout rounds. But anyways, we are on to Group Stage 4. Which includes Shaka, Eleanor of Aquitaine, again, France. Let's see if we can get both Eleanors in. That would be rather interesting. We got Peter, we got Frederick, we got Cleopatra, we got Yaverman, Trajan, Menelik, and Wilford. So we got like the most powerful AI civ, except maybe Babylon's more, but you know, Peter has been definitely the #1 civ for the AI in these AI only series since the beginning. And then we probably have Canada, which might be the worst one. I don't know. I think Canada is definitely down there. If they're not the worst, they're definitely one of the worst. So this will be interesting to see. We have all the game modes turned on, still doing shuffle. We'll talk about all this here in a little bit, and I think we're ready to go. So I'm gonna hit start and we'll be back in just a second. All right, let's hop in and see how everything shook out. Oh, this is a very interesting map. It actually, I think technically is a Pangea map. I mean, it is completely interconnected. It just has like this really awesome non-modal. Dude, this is like the coolest map I've ever seen. Oh crap, and I don't think, well, okay. I did not look at the, I didn't put the map seed on camera, but I did save it. So it should actually load with the map seed next time I load the game. But dude, this is seriously one of the coolest maps I've ever seen. Because I'm pretty sure it's a Pangea, but it has like this little island in the middle and it is only connected by 2 little snakes on either side, and 2 city-states, 2 cultural city-states that could potentially be a nice little canal for it. All right, anyways, so we got Russia up here to the north. They do have tundra near St. Petersburg, so that is very good for them. They do have Ethiopia right now. That looked like Gondor. I was like, what the heck? Then we have Eleanor of Aquitaine, France to their east, and then directly south of them we have Egypt, who is kind of trapped. Yeah, I mean, there's definitely a little bit, this map is definitely not as beneficial, you know, there's definitely going to be some early wars, I think. But then Pachacuti is right next to Egypt, with a little mountain range in between. So we'll see who actually settles right here on this river. Yeah, we'll see if Egypt actually tries it or if Pachacuti is just going to get it. If Egypt goes there, she's going to have a really hard time, I think, holding it. Especially since she can't actually get over there. No, actually, yeah, she would have to go through the water. So that's going to be really hard to hold. Then to Pachacuti's west is Rome. And then we have basically no one over here except Egypt fighting Khmer, and Khmer is currently sieging down Berlin. I don't think he's going to be able to get it. If he actually gets it, this would be a fail by... Oh no, he might actually get it. Okay, he retreated. I don't think he's gonna be able to get it though. I think there's just enough HP left. Oh, with the new warrior? Ah, man, Dude, this is actually kind of surprising because remember, Germany is one of the better civs in the game, and it looks like they are gonna lose it. Now, there's no way that Khmer can hold on to it, I don't think, but they might actually raise it, which would be the most beneficial thing. Now they're actually full loyalty on it. Wow, all right. That is a bit unexpected. And the funny thing is, Khmer is probably in the worst spot right there because they were kind of trapped in that corner, but no, they're winning. They're taking it out. Russia currently has vampires, great, because that's what they need. Well, I suppose vampires are probably better than the old god obelisk and the crazy amounts of points they'd be able to get from, you know, great works and stuff like that. But they are currently fighting a bunch of barbarians. They're also kind of separated right now. There's not really an easy way for Ethiopia and them to interact. France over here, Eleanor's got a lot of room, so it's looking pretty good there. Rome also has a decent amount of room. And then Pachacuti, yeah, Pachacuti did end up settling there, but that looks like it's going to potentially flip to Egypt. But I think he'll probably be able to hold it on because, yeah, all he needs is governor. All right, let's pop back over here to this war because this is about the only major thing happening. Akkad is being currently sieged down by Germany, which I would have to say Germany needs it. Germany also ended up suzeraning and taking... levying some troops. The question is, whose troops? What? Oh no, they took Akkad's troops. Okay, they weren't actually sieging down Akkad. They ended up suzeraning Akkad's troops, or well, suzeraning the Akkad and then levying the troops. And then the river ended up flooding, which is what happened there. So Germany's definitely on the back foot right now, and Khmer's looking pretty good. All right, so here's the thing. I mentioned we were going to talk about it. So if you missed it last episode, I don't know if I've got an opportunity to put in the comments because YouTube won't let me put a comment up until the video goes live. But in the description of the previous video, I put a link to a straw poll talking about dramatic ages. Right now, I am leaning dramatic ages on. Well, we're definitely going to leave it on for us the group stages because that's how we started, and we should just leave the rules the same for all the group stages. Oh, you know, we totally forgot about Canada. Yeah, I mean, they're down there and they're actually okay right now. The problem with Canada is they spawn in the tundra and they don't get enough bonuses in the tundra to actually make it worth spawning in the tundra. The best start for a Canada civ would actually be spawning next to the tundra. Anywho, so there was a link in the description of the previous video about a straw poll link about voting for dramatic ages on or off. I'm leaning towards I'm leaning towards dramatic ages. Well, my gosh, I'm totally confusing myself here. So we're doing dramatic ages with rest of the group stages. On the second chance round, I'm leaning towards not doing the dramatic ages just to kind of, you know, I guess appease both crowds. And then I don't know what we're going to do with the knockout rounds after that. I'm still leaning towards dramatic ages because I think it offers just a lot more entertainment value. And the thing is, it's just like, I mean, I know people are like, hey, it's just not fair. It's too RNG based, but like everything in this game is RNG based. The fact that Khmer spawned right there, you know, had they gotten their butt absolutely kicked by Germany, people would be crying out. And, you know, I'm sure if you're a German fan right now, you'd be crying out like RNG, RNG, this map sucks. But I mean, that's part of the game. Like, this game is not completely balanced. The civs are not completely balanced. And that's good. Like, I hate to say it, but this is not, I know people do like some esports with it and stuff like that, but like, I don't think this game should have an esports balance. Like, there should be easier and harder civs to deal with. I think it's just a lot more fun. More than that, like when you're playing the game, you know, sometimes you maybe want a hard challenge and sometimes you want a little bit more of an easy game. And that's where like having a variety here is actually really good. Did Germany get a dark age? No, they got a golden age. They're actually in a really bad spot right now. Khmer is just absolutely kicking their butt. I mean, they had the Pummel whatever this one is here. So they actually had a really good start here, but man, they're getting their butt kicked. I'm not entirely sure what happened with Germany here. I have to say, I'm still kind of wondering if Germany's AI got toned differently. I would say 2 or 3 updates ago, maybe 4 updates ago, because Germany used to be so good when it came here to Civ 6 in the AI only mode, but the last few AI only games we've done, championship series, they have struggled tremendously. So yeah, I don't know. Now, I don't think they're gonna be able to hold, I say that, actually I think they will be able to hold on knocking. Dude, and Yaverman, one of the weakest civs in the game, is knocking out, in my opinion, one of the stronger civs. Probably a tier 1 civ, to be honest. That is very surprising to me. That is very, very surprising to me. And in fact, if, you know, we would have seen them right away, I would have definitely said, oh, Khmer, you're in a bad spot. So the fact that Khmer pulled it out is kind of hilarious. Now, this isn't over for Germany. We've seen it. We have seen it with Wilhelmina down to 2 cities and somehow managed to win. But Germany's going to really need that Dark Age soon. And they're going to have to somehow avoid the Dark Age, which is going to be probably next to impossible. But we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. Egypt is basically completely trapped now, unless he starts or she starts going north or taking on that Moldal. Ethiopia is starting to now, it looks like, potentially go to war against France. Russia's really just kind of trapped in here, but they still have room for a few more cities. Yeah, they can definitely still come down in this direction as well, but it's a little harder to get over there. Canada is, I mean, they got a lot of room here, especially with Germany being as neutered as they are. They're going to have a lot more room to the west, and they actually have, you know, a couple wonders, or at least a wonder over there they could go settle next to. Now, the thing is, are they going to be able to survive Rome? I would say probably yes, because it's going to be really hard for Rome to get through here. There's only, what, 3 pathways? Unless they go through the water, but the AI is really bad at water invasion. So I would say yes at this point. Egypt Pachacuti, I mean, you got to give the advantage to Pachacuti just because mountains, you know, and stuff like that. Don't they get a bonus around mountains? It's been a minute since I played as Pachacuti. Pachacuti, is that his whole name? Oh, interesting. Inca, nope, nope. +1 additional attack per range. No, so they don't get anything fighting near mountains. Okay, they just get extra production near mountains. Doesn't someone have bonus fighting next to mountains? Am I just confused by that? I think I might just be confused by that. Ethiopia looks like they might be trying to do a sea invasion, but it's not a particularly strong sea invasion. Barbarians have swordsmen, which is interesting because I don't know we've seen any swordsmen yet. Yeah, it's a little strange. Now, the funny thing about Pachacuti and Egypt is both of them start with an early game unique unit. Does Rome have the legions? They do not have the legions yet. Meteor's popping right next to, oh, actually, Canada is swordsman. But right next to Canada is good because that's a free, probably heavy chariot because you don't have knights, but someone else has knights. Wait a second. Nope, that's a horseman. Okay. Germany ended up saving Aachen. So what must have ended up happening is he ended up getting the walls just in time. So he's okay right now. It looks like he's actually at war with Akkad though. Yeah, because Yavrman took the suzerain, so he's actually fighting Akkad now, which is hilarious because that means Yavrman not only ended up, you know, taking Berlin, but then ended up stealing the suzerain after he had spent money levying the troops. That's just great. Score-wise right now, Ethiopia's in first. Interesting. Okay, it's still very early, so I'm not really too shocked by that. You're actually losing loyalty here? That's a little surprising, probably because Russia's towns are a little bit smaller just because of the crap terrain. But yeah, I'm a little surprised by that. It's really too early to kind of say the Civ is definitely cruising to a victory just because, you know, Dark Age here is just like going to be interesting. I mean, Dark Ages can be just so catastrophic, we're seeing now with the Dramatic Ages mode. And the funny thing about it is it's like the AI only loses one city. But yet it can just absolutely tank the game with a single Dark Age, which is kind of hilarious because it's like, as the player, you lose 40% of your cities. So how is the player supposed to survive when the AI can't? Well, we're better. Okay, yeah, touche, but still. Although I will say, I don't know. No, I've gotten some mid to late game Dark Ages. I've never been absolutely screwed by the Dramatic Ages yet, but it's been close. It's been close, and it definitely forces you to play the game completely differently. So we are about to get this next era, and this is going to be a key one. Who got the religions, by the way? Ethiopia, Russia, Egypt, Khmer, and France. That's really good for Khmer, because Khmer can basically come and grab all of this if they wanted. And no Zulu either, right? And by Zulu, I mean... Oh, this is Zulu, not... Pachacuti. Oh my god, Brian. I've been calling Zulu Pachacuti this entire freaking game. Alright, well that changes the game a little bit. Okay, number one, it was Pachacuti's colors, and number two, he spawned near mountains. Alright. Although Pachacuti was in an earlier game, was he not? And maybe that's why I'm mixing it up, because we just saw him not too long ago. Did we just see him? Pachacuti, where were you, dude? Congo, Greek, Mari, Nubia, Spain, Dutch, Phoenicia, Grand Columbia, Samaria, Hungary. Hold up, Poch. He is... Oh, I've been reworking that. He was in group 1. Yeah, he was in group 1. All right, this era, what did we get? So Zulu and Khmer got the Dark Ages. All right, that's kind of big. Number one, this might allow Egypt to come grab this. All right, we got a nice little pause here. Yeah, Egypt is flipping to it. Now, the thing is, Egypt's going to have a hard time holding it. They are building walls themselves, which is interesting because the walls might actually finish before it flips from being a free city, which ironically would be the best possible outcome for Egypt. I think this would trigger first. I think this triggers at the beginning of the turn, and then the city flipping should trigger at the end. Actually, I don't know. This might trigger first. I'm trying to think. Yeah, I think this will actually trigger first, which is unfortunate because that means the walls would probably reset. But there is a chance that, I don't know, maybe the production gets improved or something. I mean, it's not really a great city because Egypt ended up taking these two tiles. Well, at least it's not a good free city. It will be okay for Egypt. But Egypt really needs the walls because if Zulu declares war on her, she's going to have a hard time holding that city. But with the walls, then you got the encampment right there, and it's going to be practically impossible to take. Because keep in mind, you're going to have to get the zone of control right there. So it's going to take like an extra couple turns just to even get around. So that's going to be crazy good. Now, the Zulu Dark Age might also predicate a Rome war declaration. Nah, Zulu's a little too powerful. He's got the really early knights, which is interesting. I mean, the legions are going to be okay, but they're only, what, like 38, or are they 40? That's part of it. Honestly, I think the legions are kind of crap, in my opinion. Yeah, they're only 40. I think they should be like 42. at minimum. And then it's like, oh, hey, they can build a fort. Great. I mean, I suppose that's fine, but like, What's Canada looking at right now? Canada is at 461, so Canada's actually stronger than Shirajan. All right, then over here, Berlin actually flipped and it's going right back to Germany. So there you go. Dramatic Ages, pro-Germany. It's helping Germany right now. With Berlin, is he going to be able to flip anything? No. Is he going to be able to hold on to Berlin? Maybe. He needs to get some farms fixed, though, as quickly as possible. And then up here with Russia, he is okay. He's not losing anything. Ethiopia's fine. France is fine. Do we have any wars going on? Every time. Every time. Every time. All right, click on Egypt. Okay. Zulu's not fighting anyone, not fighting anyone, not fighting anyone. Yaverman is at war with Germany still, okay. And he's actually not well liked either by both Russia and Ethiopia, but they're probably too far away to make much of a difference. Let's be honest, Germany and Yaverman are kind of on their own continent right now. Like, whatever happens, they're basically, like, they don't really have to worry about too many other people. At least right now. Germany may eventually have to deal with Canada, but for now, not that big of a deal. Here, there's been a little bit of sacrificing, not much. I wanted to look at tech. That's what we were thinking about there. Oh my God, my nose. It's been like 3-4 days now, and it is still just like killing me if I touch it. It's not broke though, because I can like bend it, but it's like, if I touch it too much, it's like, oh, makes me want to cry. And I got a really high freaking tolerance for pain too, which is hilarious. Which you wouldn't think it, seeing as much as I'm complaining. So anything here jumping out at us? Not really. Not really. It seems all pretty standard here. Stirrups is a little easier, it looks like, than normal. Also, I mean, yeah, I mean, let's look at some other civ that maybe isn't doing as hot. Like, Yaverman's only at 27. Yaverman's actually really behind in science. That's part of the reason Germany does well, is because Germany tends to get a lot of science for whatever reason. And so because of that, they tend to out-tech. Yeah, he never picked up writing. So that means he doesn't have musketmen available. Which means Germany might actually be popping out. Well, Germany had the crossbows, did they not? Yeah, they're popping out crossbows. So crossbows are a little easy to get. You don't have the niter either. Okay, so you're a little bit behind when it comes to that. When it comes to culture, right now, Shirajan is in first place. Now Ethiopia, or Egypt. Ethiopia, Egypt, whatever. They start with an E, right? They're the exact same. So, all right, yeah, that's how that looks. Anything else we wanted to look at before we hopped in here? I don't think so. Let's go advance. So right now it's going to come down to, is Zulu going to take this city back before it flips? Or the walls just popped down to 6 turns. All right, that is 10 to 10 right now then. Now, Egypt, you need to basically just leave the city alone. Yeah, you really don't want to hit the city because you don't want Zulu to go ninja the city. And then is Yaverman going to make a difference over here? That's actually also amazing right now for Germany because they really need the extra units. The crossbows are popping out, which is just like, as we've said, the great equalizer. So once the AI gets the crossbows, it's almost impossible to start taking things. Shaka's popping out his own unique units, which are spearmen, which would help fight against, you know, the unique units for Egypt, but, you know, probably not really going to be a big deal, though. So once the walls pop up, it should be gone then. Like, no one's going to be able to take it. So it should flip to Egypt now without much issue. Okay. The other thing is people are talking, they mentioned, hey, but the dramatic ages means we're not going to see any big, great late wars, which, to be honest, doesn't really happen all that much anyways. Like, every once in a while we see it without dramatic ages, but, like, the AI kind of just out-techs themselves, if that makes sense. They kind of just, like, out-defend themselves where, like, late-game wars just become, like, almost non-existent. And even if they do happen, they really don't accomplish a lot. Very rarely we see the AI making some late-game pushes, and that usually involves, like, modern armor tanks. Modern armor armies, essentially, going and just taking over cities. But for the most part, that isn't really one of the things that happens. So, not so concerned about the dramatic ages in that way, shape, or form. And keep in mind, what was it? Like the first group stage, dramatic ages had almost no effect on it. And thus far, I mean, the dramatic ages really didn't have much of an effect here, other than, yeah, sure, it's slightly helping Germany and slightly helping Egypt, but like, it's not like end of the world kind of thing here. Score-wise, Egypt's in first. Yeah, Eleanor's in second. But, I mean, it's still too early and it's still too close to make much of a difference. Who's building wonders? This is actually the thing that's probably the bigger question. So Egypt is building a lot of wonders. They have 4 already, which means they might be wonder obsessed. Canada's got 3. They might be wonder obsessed. Wonder obsessed is not bad. Either being wonder obsessed or the tech obsessed, whatever that one is, so they focus on science. Both tend to be very, very good for the AI. Just, you know, the more techs you have, the stronger you are at surviving. So the walls are up now. That's going to flip here in 1 turn. How are the heroes looking here? There's only 2. One Germany had, and then 1 for Shaka. Milan's not going to make much of a difference. The question is, how quickly does Shaka declare war on Cleopatra? And the thing is, Cleopatra is not going to have an easy time reinforcing. And it's only at 31 garrison defense strength. But medieval walls are popping out. And once she finishes medieval walls, that's going to be basically impossible at that point. Now, we'll see if Shaka can get some early game cores to make a big difference. But right now, we'll see. And then the other thing, like, this is probably the biggest thing. So if Shaka declares war here on Egypt, and it looks like they might have because they're in the borders. No, they're just in borders. But if he declares war and ends up losing a bunch of troops in that way, shape, or form, then Rome might end up hopping in on him. But then it's also the same thing where if Rome ends up declaring war on Shaka, ends up losing a bunch of troops, then Ethiopia could hop in on him. So France right now, Eleanor Aquitaine doing okay. She's probably the one civ that gets the best advantage with the dramatic ages mode. But honestly, right now, I don't think we're going to see too much shaking until we get to the next era. Because that's when I think things might end up shaking up a little bit. As we might see some really bad Dark Ages come and screw some people. All right, Germany did a very aggressive settle over here, which puts them closer to Canada. Canada is at 517. Germany is still really weak. Really, really weak. Khmer ended up throwing a city on the east coast of their little area over here, which is going to flip right over to Germany. And Germany is somehow managing to pull this back. Germany's pulling a Wilhelmina right now. Okay, something with Central Europe civs, apparently. Just don't mess with them. I mean, and France. Well, that was England, Eleanor of England, but Eleanor of France here is doing pretty okay. I mean, I guess Black Queen France didn't do too hot, so before we get here and talk about, like, Western European civs just dominating this, maybe, you know, maybe not. Look, okay, we got Gandhi, we got England, we got Babylon, we got Gorgo, Brazil, and, okay, we got a pretty good variety. Although we don't really have too many, well, we have no North American civs right now, so Canada needs to kind of pull it out, because Teddy ended up failing. I mean, there's not that many North American civs, and then we only have Brazil and South America, but, you know, it's not like there's not many South American civs either, so whatever. Can we kind of see what's happening here? Rome's at 25 civs, so everyone's still pretty close. Eleanor's got a lot of culture already. Interesting. I don't think religion is gonna happen. Nah, it's too wide open still. The AI is just so bad when it comes to religion that I just really never expect to see a religious victory. It has happened. It has happened. I don't know if it's happened with this mod. I think we were using this mod when Gandhi, I think at 1.1, a religious victory, which kind of put our whole game into this weird funk. But other than that, because there was a time where it was like, can the AI actually win? And that actually begs the question. I don't remember. Can the AI win a religious victory with this particular mod? I don't think so, because technically they can't flip us. I don't remember, is I guess the question. I know we've had this discussion many times before, though, but whatever. Okay, so Shaka's just not wanting to fight, apparently. We're having a very passive game. I mean, really, Germany... Has this been the only war thus far? I think so. Oh, well, he declared war on France, but that was never going to really accomplish a whole lot. Okay, so, all right, we got just this very passive game. How's Russia doing when it comes to score? They're all the way down in 5th. I think part of it is just kind of getting trapped in, and, like, this terrain is hot trash. It's all, like, flatland. So he's going to get a lot of faith, and, I mean, the mountains there are going to help. Or, sorry, the volcanoes. it's gonna help. But like, look at this. It's all flat. There's like no hills whatsoever. So that is just like gonna be hot trash for production. I mean, same thing over there with Khmer. Germany actually had some production here, so that's good for them. Okay, so Bavapora ended up flipping over and is gonna go to Germany. We're gonna keep advancing time. What are we looking at here? 10 turns. Okay. What are we gonna get to with the actual pause? I don't know. We're at 23 minutes, so we'll just keep going. All right, so this is gonna be big. I don't want to spoil. I like kind of not spoiling who's gonna get the Dark Ages because I think it's kind of fun to actually see who ended up getting it. The good thing for Canada right now is if they do get a Dark Age, they're pretty much gonna end up just getting it right back. They really don't have much to worry about. Also, I do love how Vancouver's like, you know, in the tundra over here, when Vancouver's, you know, much more temperate, nice place, but whatever, whatever. I've never been there. It's only from what I hear, okay? So I might be wrong on that. Egypt's still looking really good, but I think long-term, Egypt's gonna need something. I mean, I guess they could come over here and get this island or this island, but yeah, they're gonna have to keep settling here. They are in first place, but it's probably a mix of wonders and religion. And, you know, eventually they're going to run out of spaces for wonders. So they're going to have to get some more territory or something. They're actually going for Valletta, it looks like, which would not be a good take. Because there's no way they hold on to that. Unless both of these guys get Dark Ages, but kind of unlikely. Trojans started to build Oxford University. Okay. How is Rome doing? Rome honestly has never been particularly great when it comes to the AI-only series. They're one of the favorites. I'm trying to think if they've ever even made the knockout rounds. I don't know if they've actually made it. They're doing really good in science right now. Yeah, they're in first place in science. I mean, the fact that they're doing the Potato Palace, the Casa, and the Oxford already. The Oxford. Not just Oxford, it's the Oxford. I mean, that's going to set them up quite well here. I don't know anyone else is even building any of those wonders. Doesn't look like it. I mean, you got universities, but that, you know, you're still behind when it comes to Oxford. Ethiopia does not have any either. Just trying to do a quick... You're building the Terracotta Army. Okay. Yeah, no, it looks like they're going to be all his. Dude, Rome. Okay. Rome with the wonders. So at this point, Rome, you're also building Terracotta. You're at 3 turns. Yeah, you're going to build it. So at this point... I think Rome's in a really good spot. They just need to kind of avoid Dark Ages. They didn't have a religion though, right? So that just means that's potentially up to 100 points that they're going to lose out on. Okay, this is very good for Rome as well. So we got a Dark Age by everyone except Yaverman. All right, well, never mind. So what was the Roman city that flipped? I thought this was Ethiopia. That was Ethiopia. So what Roman city flipped? Halifax? No, that's Canada. Oh, Satia. Okay. Egypt ended up losing Nadan Sekua, which is going right back to Egypt, so you're fine there. That one's going right back to Eleanor. Ethiopia's getting his city right back. Shaka's getting his city right back. No one's gonna, yeah, Russia's getting his city back. So literally everyone's getting their city back now. What did you lose? You lost Dortmund. So Germany's the only one that's not gonna get their city right back. Halifax actually got a Dark Age. Now Winnipeg is flipping. Ooh. Or Halifax flipped. Where's 8? Swear I hit it. Yeah, he's gonna lose that. Oh no. Oh no, this is not good for Canada. And the biggest problem with Canada is the same thing that was kind of hitting Russia. The lack of population because you spawned in the freaking tundra. Hence why Canada is one of the worst civs in the game. Because it's like you just can't get enough population, can't get enough production. Mainz is flipping as well. Mainz was the first one. I actually never saw Dortmund put down there. So, still okay from a German standpoint. Question is, I mean, I don't think any of these are going to end up flipping these things. And quite frankly, it's far enough that he really doesn't have much to worry about. But eventually, he could come and take it back. Now, could we see potentially Rome has freaking AT already? What the hell? Seriously, what the heck? My god, dude. It's like pre-130 AT crew. That is ridiculous. But that's actually very beneficial though, because that means he has research labs popping out. So he's going to get a lot of science and he's going to just cruise here. Although he hasn't built any of them yet. He still is building Oxford, still taking a long freaking time here. Long freaking time. Has anything flipped back yet? No, it looks like everything's still waiting. Once again, we didn't look at everyone's secret society. I think Russia's the only vampire one though, which would have been very helpful for Germany. Just throwing that out there, because he could have really used those vampires early on. He got the Hermetic Order. Ugh. I mean, it's good from the standpoint of him being a science civ, but like, ugh. Ugh. How's he doing, by the way, science? 89. Not great. Nope, not great. So if we're just looking right now, I would say Egypt and Rome, if I had to guess. Because Egypt's got the wonders. Rome has the wonders and the science. That's who I'm kind of leaning at right now. Although we might actually have one of our first games where the person that's not in the first two places actually ends up winning the game. Because he's getting ridiculous science compared to everyone else. He might actually get those rockets off and not be in the first two places. And there goes the research labs. I mean, there's a chance there. Egypt's still in first. Yeah, Ethiopia's in second. And that's without it. So once they get their city back, well, I wonder which city's worth more. Probably you. Well, they both have one district. You have a few more tiles. No, you have two districts. Yeah, this one's worth a little bit more. So that puts Ethiopia ahead for a second until this flips to Egypt. And then that'll put them ahead. Dude, Rome with the freaking AT crew could do some work here, I think, on Zulu. Because Zulu is very heavy cab-based. Although, what happened to Zulu's army? Yeah, he's down to 117. Rome might actually declare war on him. I will not be surprised here if we don't see a war pretty quickly. Now, this is pretty critical because Rome could really screw themselves if they fail to conquer anything. All right, so now Egypt should be back in first because yep. Both of these ended up flipping. Halifax and Winnipeg both flipped, but Canada's good with everything else. See, I think that's kind of good. Like, no one's getting killed here because of the dramatic ages, but, you know, they're still definitely having to fight it. And this kind of really opens up the game because, you know, Germany and or Canada, there's 4 free cities here, which could really catapult either side. Now, I'm a little surprised that Akkad is still sitting there with Germany right there. You know, just kind of surprised by that. Germany tends to want to, you know, murder some city-states by now. Okay. We got to wrap this episode up, but I don't know how I'm going to pause the game. We're just going to have to wait the 6 turns, I suppose. Everything ended up flipping back now at this point? Yeah, everything ended up flipping back. So, except, obviously, the Wilford and the Germany stuff. Germany's actually in last place. Shaka's in second to last, which is kind of crazy. I mean, I guess he is only at, what, 5 cities? He lost his 6th. Still all this room over here. And no one's taking it. This one, there's going to be a little bit of fighting. I mean, both there's going to be a little bit of fighting. Here, though, is Yosemite. God, what a worthless Yosemite. Man. God, is there anything worse than having Yosemite spawn in the freaking tundra? It's like, oh, come on. I mean, these are still okay tiles, but it's just like, man, come on. Come on. You couldn't have been non-tundra. Just give me a map without tundra. He says in a game that both Canada and, you know, Russia are in. By the way, are either or have either ended up building St. Petersburg? Not St. Petersburg. Well, yes, he built St. Petersburg. No, Bolshoi? No. Also, wait, what is this looking like? A 6-13-5 of Empire Castle. Not bad. Not bad. St. Basil's. That's what we're thinking about. I would think Canada would have. I'm not seeing any culture, because that's kind of the big triggers. It's like a tile that has a bunch of culture, correct? That might mean that someone else built it, not on Tundra. Saint Basil Cathedral. Yeah, it's +1 culture. It comes from Reformed Church. We're not a good one to find that. Let's go here with Yaverman, because he's in first. See if anyone's even done it yet. Reformed Church. Yes. Oh, that's theocracy. Gotcha. Makes sense. So, he barely got it, though. So, we're basically... But that's only on Tundra tiles, actually, though, right? from all tundra tiles. So if they build it in a non-tundra tile or a non-tundra city, we can't actually get a really good glance at it. This is where the search bar would just be really helpful, just throwing that out there. Egypt might have built it because, you know, Egypt being potentially wonder obsessed with a ridiculous amount of wonders. Does not look like it, though. All right, let's take a quick look here at the score before we wrap it up. So Cleopatra's in first place, not by a lot. In fact, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean, the top 6 are all within 100 points, which means literally 6 out of the 9 are all within 100 points. And then even then, Frederick in last place is less than 200 points away. So this is probably the closest game we've seen in quite some time, just from top to bottom. And then even like no one's running away with it. So ultimately, this proved to be a pretty balanced map, I would have to say then. Cleopatra, though, is rolling with 75 wonders, which is what, 7 wonders? 3, 6, 7 wonders. Yeah. Trajan is in second place now. He actually passed Ethiopia, but once again, 4 wonders there. He has no religion, though, and Ethiopia does have a religion. So that's one thing we're going to have to keep an eye on. Ethiopia is also slightly larger. More great people, though, for Trajan. He should also have a lot more tech. Oh, we totally forgot to look at the score on the tech. Civics, though, belong to Ethiopia, but not by much. Eleanor isn't too far behind either. She's got a couple wonders in a religion. Russia's actually struggling. He's got the religion, but he has no wonders. Interesting. This is like the weakest I've ever seen Russia. I've been literally hyping Russia nonstop for what, like the last 6 episodes. And then Russia comes out and just drops this, you know, turd. I don't know what's a proper, I was going to say an egg, which is probably the better way to say that. But like, yeah, this is really kind of disappointing right now. This is Great People score, 45. Usually that's how he gets ridiculous points, is Great People mixed with empire size, just because every time he throws down a city, he gets so much extra room. But his empire size isn't even that big either. I mean, he is a little trapped, but he still has a little bit more room. And I mean, he still can come down here as well. He's not out of it yet, but I think, honestly, the thing that's kind of killing him right now is probably the wonder score. Like, the absolute total lack of wonders is just horrifying. Then Yavrman only has 1 wonder. Yeah, and he's a little bit struggling right now. Wilford's got, dude, Wilford has, oh my God, that's what, 2, 4, 6 wonders. Wait. 2, wait. 30 is 2, 60 would be 4, 90 would be 8. 6, Brian. So that's 5. All right, whatever. My math is horrible. Don't ever do math on camera, guys. But yeah, with that, he's still really just getting his butt kicked. Honestly, a lot of it's that empire size. That empire's really far behind. Great People's kind of bad. He has no religion either. So he really has to just keep up with wonders, and he's going to have to go and take these cities back. But if he gets a golden age out of this, and he's building another wonder as well. But yeah, if he gets a golden age out of this, he's definitely not out of it. He also has Hippolyta there. Okay, well, anyways, hope you guys enjoyed the episode. If you did, drop a like, comment. Let me know what you think. As always, hit the subscribe button, join the game, comment, share your support. And remember, you can go back to the last episode and go vote in the straw poll. I'll see if I can remember to put in the description of this one, but we'll see if I remember. Till next time. Bye, everyone.